Hello, Gearspace. This is Nicholas from SoundForce at Superbooth 2022. And this year I'm showing the new SFC-8 2022 prototype, which is a Midi controller for Jupyter 8 style plugins, such as the Arturia 8V, also the Untitled Chapter plugin. And it will also have support for different hardware synths. It is Midi powered. It has a Midi input, for example, for sequencers or keyboards. And it has traditional Midi output as well. So the keyboard messages are being merged together with the controller messages to the Midi output. You can also send, obviously, USB Midi messages directly to your computer. But if you want, and if you need it, there is also a 5-pin Midi interface. You can also use this as a Midi to USB interface if you don't have one. So for the controls, you have actually the interface of the Jupyter is mirrored on the controller, and there will be different modes. At the moment, it's an Arturia plugin mode. So for example, this switch is 3 position. For the TAL plugin, there's an extra position for that specific switch. And there will be different modes that you can, from the interface of the controller, switch between Arturia and TAL, and eventually also other systems. So I'm also working on a software that allows you to say, this control is, for example, Midi CC18 on channel 3. So it's going to be completely configurable with an interface. At the moment, I made a firmware specifically for Superbooth for the Arturia plugin. There's also 5 banks of 4 presets. So obviously, most of your presets would be in your computer if you use this as a plugin controller, but I was able to use the already present controls on the controller to save and load presets. So there's a function to load and save a preset, also to save your default preset. And that's all I can say. I can demonstrate a little bit how the plugin sounds. Of course, I haven't developed the plugins, but it sounds really pretty. So yeah, it's definitely much more fun to use than just scrolling to some presets without really changing anything. And here you also understand, my experience is that you understand a bit better how the different blocks of the synthesizer are connected together, because you can finally move things and see what happens in real time. So this is going to be available probably after the summer, the latest around Christmas, and the price is still to be defined. I have other MIDI controls as well for Prophet 5, Juno 60, Minimoog style plugins. They're available right now at sound-force.nl if you're interested. And yes, that's it for the MIDI controllers.